Hello and welcome to another episode on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Now, what a fantastic win that was for Liverpool as they destroyed Toulouse 5-1. That victory makes it 3 out of 3 wins for Liverpool, and our unbeaten streak in the Europa League continues. In terms of the team lineup, Klopp made 8 changes to the team. Luke Chambers gets his first start for Liverpool. Curtis Jones returns to the midfield. Elliott is playing on the right wing, which I half expected despite me saying that I think Salah was going to start the game. But let's discuss the key moments of the game. But before we do, just a quick reminder, this is a call-in show. So if you don't know, all of my call-in shows is a platform for you guys to come on and have your say. So if you'd like to make an appearance today, link is in the description. And if you're in the backstage area, I'll try and get you on after the player ratings. So let's talk about the first half. So first half, it was Liverpool who opened the scoreline around the 8th minute. They broke the deadlock with a sublime goal by Jota. He gets the ball from a half turn, drives the ball forward, skips past a number of Toulouse players and clinically finishes it into the bottom corner. That goal kind of gave me FC24 vibes, the way he was running with the ball. Lovely finish, typical Jota, very clinical on the ball. Around the 13th minute, another chance as Jota flicks the ball towards Nunez, who cuts it in with his left foot, strikes the ball, but it was saved by the goalkeeper. But in the 15-minute mark, moments later, Toulouse hit Liverpool on the counter-attack. Donnarumma gets infield to hit the through ball. That adds a bit of uncertainty to Liverpool's back line as Chambers is out of position and pretty much not man marking at that stage. The ball goes through to Delinga and he hits a low shot through Kelleher. So in terms of his performance, he was definitely a stand-up player for Toulouse. It was a good finish from him. 26th minute, Gravenberch attacks on the left-hand side, cuts in and hits a low shot that was saved by the goalkeeper. And again, Gravenberch's involved. Through ball to Curtis Jones, whose shot is tipped over the bar. But then literally after that moment, 29th minute, Trent hits a sweet cross towards Endo and he leaps high in the air and hits a beautiful header into the back of the net. What a finish. Those type of goals are not easy to execute. Very well guided into the corner. And it's his first goal for Liverpool. So a proud moment for him. And then 33rd minute, Liverpool are in a rampant mood as they make it 3-0. And it was Nunez who thumps the ball in the roof of the net. Great run by Gravenberch to spark that move. And then around the 30th minute, Toulouse player Sierro has a shot from outside of the box, just misses the target. So, as you can tell, despite us conceding a goal in the first half, it was pretty much all Liverpool. And Gravenberch, for me, was running the show. In terms of the second half, Kelleher fluffs his back pass to Delinga and then manages to find Suazo, the left back. He pretty much has an open goal with only Trent Alexander-Arnold on the goal line, but somehow he hits it straight at Trent Alexander-Arnold. What a terrible effort from the Toulouse left back. Had that goal gone in, it might have changed the emphasis on the game, but yeah, that was a terrible finish. And I'm not buying the fact that he was a left back. He pretty much had the whole goal and he just hit it straight at Trent, who was literally on the one side of the goal. So yeah, poor finish from the Toulouse player there. 53rd minute, Endo has another crack from distance, but his shot goes wide. 60th minute, Gravenberch has a turn and shot on the hour mark, saved by the goalkeeper. And then the goal came for Gravenberch. A great low shot. But let's talk about the thing or the moment that happened before that goal, and that was Nunez's run. What a fantastic run it was moments before. He left the defender for dead, skips past the goalkeeper, and then hits the post when it was a complete open goal. I know people say, oh, it was a rush of blood, but come on. With that kind of movement, that move, we would have been talking about for years if that goal had gone in. So it's a shame, but it's just one of those things where he needs to add that to his game. He needs to be a bit more composed in front of goal. He did the hard work, literally did the hard work. That kind of pace and turn and movement gave me Torres vibes, I can't lie. But the finish certainly didn't. Well, unless you're talking about the Torres of Chelsea days. But yeah, such a shame that he couldn't get the goal for that move there. But Gravenberch fully deserved to be on the score sheet, and it was a nicely placed shot with his left foot into the bottom corner. So good goal for him. After that, the game pretty much fizzled out as there was quite a few substitutions. So around the 65th minute, you had Kwanzaa. Gakpo makes his return, which is great to see. And Scallon came on for Nunes, Chambers, and Trent. And then around the 69th minute, Salah comes on for Gravenberch. And the crowd stands up and gives Gravenberch a round of applause. And rightly so. I think it was fully deserved. And he was fantastic today. And then 87th minute, Jones comes off for McConnell. And then 90th minute, Joe Gomez has the ball, 25 yards. You're thinking, no, it can't be. Is he going to take a shot? He does. And unfortunately for Joe Gomez, it goes wide. He's still finding his first goal in professional football, let alone Liverpool. I'm praying, I'm hoping it happens for him this season because he's having these moments here and there. So one day, I'm sure it'll happen. It'll be fantastic if it actually is like a final goal, winning goal for Liverpool. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out for him going forward this season. And then in the 92nd minute, Salah makes it 5 for Liverpool as he smashes the ball crossbar and in with his right foot. A collector's item, as you don't see many right foot finishes from the Egyptian king. But look, overall, very pleased with the performance. Really, really good performance from the team. We played with such a great tempo throughout the game. And a number of players scored, the likes of Endo, Gravenberch, Nunes. So this will only help boost their confidence for upcoming games. And, as we've got such a big squad, it's important that all of our players are in high confidence. So overall, very, very satisfied with this win. It's pretty much safe to say that we have qualified for the next round. Obviously, it's not completely official, but I think, we're in a very good position to proceed to the next round. And the next game, I'm expecting more rotation. I'm expecting to see more young players like today, so the likes of Luke Chambers, Scallon, McConnell coming through and making more appearances. You've got Ben Doak as well, who was injured today, but he would get some more game time. So look, I think going forward, expect to see a lot of these young players being embedded to the team. And, it's a perfect time to allow these youngsters to play. We're not fortunate to have these games where we can embed players. If this was a Champions League, there's no way we'd have the opportunity to play these players from our academy. So fantastic opportunity. And it's great for the fans. We can see all of these young and up-and-coming players in European nights. At this stage, it's not, make or break right now. So obviously, the earlier group stages, we can kind of take it one pace at a time. And then once we get closer to the finishing rounds, then obviously we'll play our better team. But right now, it's great to enjoy new players being embedded to the team. And you can really see the strength and depth in our squad. This was pretty much our second team. And we looked fantastic overall. So great performance from Liverpool. And hopefully it continues on to our next fixture, which is Nottingham Forest on the weekend. So looking forward to that one as well. So what we'll do now, we'll do the player ratings for Liverpool. And if there's any callers, we'll bring them on the show. So let's present the graphic for you guys. So let's begin. So we'll start off with Kelleher. Kelleher, for me, had a decent game. There was one or two moments where it was a bit shaky. The one in particular comes to mind is the one when he gave the ball away to Delinga. That could have easily been, it should have been a goal, but it was poor finishing from Toulouse. So, yeah, he didn't have the best day in terms of, I think, with his kicking ability today. Didn't show a lot of passing where normally he'll go for the long pass. Today he went for short passes, but he seemed a bit on edge at times as well. So I think today I'll give him a normal solid ranking. I don't think he did anything bad or anything like that. So with that being said, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I think that might be a little bit generous, but I think because we scored 5, I'm in a good mood. So we'll leave it at that. Luke Chambers, debut, obviously for the youngster there. I don't want to be too harsh on him, but the first goal, that obviously the only goal that we conceded in this game, he was at fault. The player that he was marking throughout the game dropped infield. So then he threading a fantastic through ball in between Chambers and Gomez. So it kind of presented an uncertainty between the two players. And when that player, Delinga, went through, you know, he was on the shoulder to execute that finish. So that's not a sort of like a harsh criticism. It's a fact that, you know, he made a bit of a error in judgment there, but he's a young player. This is the type of game where you learn from these sort of mistakes. So the overall, I think after that, I feel like give him credit. He did do well. His head wasn't down. Obviously, he's got experienced players around him as well. So I feel like he did a decent account of himself. So I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. I think that might be a bit. I'm going to give him a 6, just to round it up. Joe Gomez, for me, looks good on that left-hand side. I don't think it was one of his better games this season. As a combination, Gomez and Matip, sometimes for me just looked a bit on edge or didn't look as a tight unit, which, you know, can be influenced throughout the team, where if your defense looks a bit shaky, then it can rub off with the players around them. But thankfully, we weren't really put in any danger where we were going to concede any goals. But he had a solid performance. Obviously, when Trent Alexander went off, he played that inverted role. Not his biggest fan in that role, but at least it shows his adaptability to play in different roles. So I think he had a solid game. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Matip as well, likewise, had one or two moments where I feel like he just took a bit long in terms of releasing the ball. But overall, didn't really look out of place in terms of the opposition. They weren't really troubling him in that manner, and showed a solid account of himself. So I'm going to also give him a 7 out of 10. Trent Alexander-Arnold showed a good account of himself today. That assist for Endo, for most players, it's an exquisite pass. For us, people like, you know, that's Trent's bread and butter right there, because we're so used to seeing him doing those type of passes on a weekly basis. So, no, a good performance from him. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. Endo was fantastic in this game. Really stood out for me in terms of his ability on the ball, also breaking up play. And that goal itself was a fantastic goal for such a short guy, and having that leap and guiding that into the corner. Fantastic finish. So I'm going to have to give him a strong ranking today, and that's 8 out of 10. Curtis Jones, for me, had a decent game. You can tell he hasn't been involved that much in recent weeks. He just looked slightly off the pace, in my opinion. Didn't have that rhythm where when he was playing back-to-back games, he just had that extra step about him. So regardless, I still think he had a good game, solid game. So hopefully he's got those minutes under his belt now. And then not this Sunday, because he's still suspended against Nottingham Forest. But from next week onwards, he'll be involved in the first team lineup a little bit more. So with that being said, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 as well. Gravenberch, for me, yeah, he was fantastic. I feel like he stole the show. He was really, really good. Hardly gave the ball away. The most important aspect of his game that I enjoyed today was just his ball carrying ability, something we've not really had for a very long time. And it's not just running with the ball without really thinking of what you're doing next. He had a vision. When he took that ball, he knew where he was going to glide, and he picked the right passes at the right time, took shots from outside the box or inside the box. So shows a different layer of his game, where our midfielders in the past have used to being the engine, where we've got someone who can do that work, but at the same time, with a blink of an eye, run with the ball and get in a good position to take a shot from distance. So a goal attacking threat, got his goal, which is fantastic to see. I think it was fully deserved. So for me, he gets man of the match. So I'm going to give him, why not? Let's give him a 9 out of 10. Strong ranking for me. And I don't think anyone will top that. So he's my man of the match today. So give him a star under his rating there. Next player is, let's do Jota. Jota, for me, I really enjoyed that goal. That goal was, yeah, just had that computer game vibe to it, where he just got the ball, just ran through players, no one could stop him, and the finish was just such a delicate finish. I'd like to see more of that from Jota. I think going forward as well, it will be an interesting battle between him and Diaz, because Jota gets goals and Diaz, as you know, great on the eyes as a player. I feel like you do want those type of players to start on a more regular basis. So I feel like with Jota, if he's scoring goals like that in regular games, you can't leave him out. So good headache for Jurgen Klopp in terms of who to select on that left-hand side. I feel like if you've got a player who gets a bundle of goals the manner Jota does, he has to stay in the team. So that's the biggest praise I can give in terms of how he performed today. Wasn't as involved in the second half, so I can't give him a very high ranking. I feel like he's pretty much ghosted towards the latter stage of the game. So with that being said, I'm going to give him a 7.5. And then Harvey Elliott, for me, had a decent game. Not as impactful as his previous game, I'll say. One thing that I really enjoyed watching him play today, and to be fair, overall this season, is the fact that he has such a great first touch, great ability on the ball, silky touches, tries to play the right pass, but yeah, very, very neat on the ball, neat and tidy. And I feel like he's growing in stature in terms of his performance. So more to come from him, playing in the right wing position. I feel like he did a decent job. It's a position where I feel like he may need to take a bit more risk. So being out wide is fine, but I want him to cut inside and be an inside forward as well. And when he gets in those goal-scoring opportunities to take some shots, he had a shot earlier on today as well, which I think was saved by the keeper. But I think he can do that on a more regular occurrence when he's playing that role. So today I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. And then we've got Darwin Núñez, who was on the score sheet with a fantastic left-footed strike. But yeah, that moment where I feel like that would have been a goal where it would have been one of Darwin Núñez' top 5 goals, despite how many goals he scores in the future, because it was an exquisite run. Full speed, left the defender for dead. Even the goalkeeper ended up lying on the floor like he's having a picnic on the grass or something. And then just that last moment, I think Joe Cole said after the game he should have taken a touch and scored. When you're playing at that pace in a match, you don't just take an extra touch like that. He just needed to focus, look at the goal. I think he took his eyes off the goal and then just expected it to go in. But, those are the moments where still got to focus in terms of where you're going to finish it. He just had to hit it in the target. Middle of the goal, there was no one there. So, yeah, you could tell his reaction after this, distraught. Not distraught. He was happy that we scored the goal, but I think deep inside, on a personal level, he's just like, oh, man, that would have topped up a great goal if that had gone in. But I think overall he was fantastic, despite that miss there. Showed great movement, caused all kinds of havoc. And like I made the case for Jota, if Núñez is playing at this level, you can't keep him out of the team. So it's great, healthy competition within the squad, especially our attacking positions, that we've got players that can come in and make things happen or change the game. We've got so many different options to do that. So only benefits the team going forward. So today's ranking, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Let's try and bring on some of the subs as well. Before I do, let me know what you guys think in the comments about my ranking of the players. Is this too high? Have I been too generous with some? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. So we had Kwanzaa, Scallon, Gakpo, Salah, and McConnell come on. So unfortunately, Scallon and McConnell aren't on this website, so I can't add them on. But I'll just say out loud in terms of their performance. Scallon, for me, I'll be honest with you, he came on, looked really raw. There were a number of times where he lost the ball or he went too further up the pitch and just left that side exposed. But I'll give the benefit of the doubt. I think it was just excitement to, make his debut as a professional footballer for Liverpool. But it could have caused us issues at the same time. So I don't want to be too harsh on the kid. So I'm going to give him a 5.5 ranking. And then McConnell as well. He had more of a brief cameo. I think he only played for about 10 minutes. But the only moment I can remember is that he came on, showed some silky touches. I think he tried to do a couple of step overs as well. So that definitely cheered at the crowd a little bit there. But didn't really have much of an impact to fully judge him. So I'll just give him an average rating of 6 out of 10. And then the other players, so we had Kwanzaa that was on. So let me, I think he came off for Trent. So we'll just put Kwanzaa there. I know he didn't play right back, but we'll just place him here for presentation purposes. Didn't really do much in terms of standing out for me. There was one moment where I think it was Delinga, I can't remember now, but one of the attackers pretty much physically took him out of the game, which I didn't like the way that happened. I know he's a young kid, but in those type of situations, you're supposed to be a bit more bullish and show them that you've got strength as well. But that I didn't like because the way he was just dragged out the way, it could easily have led to a goal scoring opportunity. So that's just one little thing that I noticed during the game. But I'll give him a 6 out of 10. So it's nothing to penalize him in terms of his rating, but just something where I wanted to be a bit more aggressive because he's such a big guy as well. I know he's a youngster, but have a bit more aggression as a defender. I feel like that is something that will separate you from the average defender and impose your physique as well on the opposition. But he'll learn that, I think, as time and minutes are under his belt. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10 there. And then who do we have? We have Gakpo that came off for Nunes. I'll put on Gakpo. And then we had Salah come off for Gravenberg. So feels a bit odd to put Salah in midfield there. So I'll put Salah there. And then I'll just put Elia there. So Elia gave him 7. So Salah, came on, had a couple moments where he dribbled past the player, but I don't think he was supposed to, go at full speed. He was just doing his thing. So no, I think impressive for him in terms of having that attitude to come on, try to score a couple goals. The finish itself was actually a nice finish. I thought it'd gone wide for some reason because it hit the crossbar and in, and it just stayed flat on the ground. So you didn't really see the net move at all. So I thought it maybe gone into the crowd, but yeah, happy to see him get the goal. And obviously it only helps in terms of his stat game for this season. So another goes to his GA record there. So another good afternoon for him. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. And then Gakpo showed some good touches. You can tell he's just come back from injury. So I think he was just showing a bit more caution in terms of how he would press or attack with the ball, but show some neat touches. Obviously such a technically great player. So he'll find his rhythm in due time. So I'm just going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. And that's my ranking. So let me know what you guys think in terms of the scores for each player. Have I been fair, or is there an argument to say that maybe some of the players should have got a better ranking? Do let me know. Drop a comment and I will see what you have to say, guys. As I can see, there's no callers today. We can wrap up the show. So thank you to anyone who's tuned in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Next piece of content will be on Saturday, as I'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. Time to be confirmed. So the best thing to do is hit that notification bell on YouTube, or you can follow me on social media. You can follow me at Ozzie FTP on Twitter, or you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok for all the latest updates. So we got the win, 5-star performance. So great way to end the evening. As always, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye.